M0FXB. Welcome to my channel, Digital Ham Radio Diary. M0FXB, I'm just going to show you the setting that worked for me. So I'm on my desktop computer and you can see my ICOM 7300. Now I'm not controlling it from this computer, but I'm going to show you the settings that I've got in here so you can see how I'm controlling it from my laptop, which is not wirelessly connected. So the ICOM 7300 is connected by a USB cable to this desktop computer, okay? And then I've ran everything as I'm told in the setup wizard here to create a server, and the UDP port is 5001, user ID I just gave myself IC7300. I'm using my local IP address. So what I've done is I've just gone into a search and I found the IP address for this computer, for the desktop computer, which is here. Yeah, so this is all local. Local means in my house. If I took the laptop outside of my house, I'd have to use my public IP. Now, so I've got a server on the desktop computer. Now, the radio list, because you can add a list of radios here. You don't have to just have one. These are I'm going to show you my settings. So we'll go local server settings, and you can see here COM ports 4, and I've selected. You can select what you like. You don't have to be these two that you've selected, but these are the ones that are mine that are selected at the moment. But you can change that, and you create a user. So my server list. So you can have more than one server. So my options, local server settings are CIV 94 in the radio, within the setup process, COM port 4 again, and same microphone. Right, okay, so these are my settings, and let's go to the laptop. And before we go to the laptop, I think what I'll do is I'll disconnect and show you some more settings. So we'll disconnect, properties. So there's the server IP for this desktop computer, the 5001 UDP, which you have to open up in your broadband router, and then it makes you create a username and password. So that's that. I'll just make sure there's no other settings you can see. Not that one. Options, settings. Yes, and then here. And so you've got options, settings. It's, my PC is called Dad, of course. Then these are default control panel port numbers. So they're all in there. And let's have a look down. So you may as well open them all up, I think. Internet line, I've just got FTTH selected. And language, English. Okay. And then if I go to the radio, see if it shows us anything else. So I'll disconnect, and when I do that, I hear that it disconnects my laptop behind me as well. I can hear. So options, local server settings. It might end up being the same anyway. Here it's down. Settings on the bottom left here. So look, these are the speaker items for the radio, which I've just left at default for now. But you can add speakers, you can add microphones, and just select them in the list. As you can see, I don't touch that. I leave these two boxes ticked. So click OK. So that's all my settings. So I'll click back connect, and I can hear straight away the radio behind me's come back to life. And there's your server list. So it is all confusing, this, because you've got servers on one, and then servers on both computers. Then you've got to add radio lists, and you can have a radio list on both computers. So right now, I'm just playing around and learning, really. So yeah, back in a minute. So here we are. We're on the laptop now, and we connected, as you can see, to the 7300, and we can change the frequency. If you look at the 7300, we can scroll down, up and down, and let's just see it doing that. Yeah, I can see it over there in the distance. Now, we're not physically connected to the 7300 by any wires. What we've done, we've used the ICOM remote utility, or basically this little, I see the icon here at the bottom, and here you get 2 icons when you buy this software. And if you look at my thing here on the server, you have the thing that's confusing is you have one that is to open up and connect to the radio, is here, and you can have a list of radio. And I'm on a laptop now, not on the desktop computer that's connected physically to the radio by a USB cable. Now, if you look at the server list, you create a server. And how do you create a server? You run a wizard basically. Up here, you get set up wizard, and to connect to to run this laptop as a server, I chose this one here, server for a setup for a server PC. The radio is accessible by remote PCs. So you've got the PC, and then it goes through and connects. So when you run it, just go next, and then you end up with, you have to choose control port UDP 5001. Open that up in your router. The IP address here that I've used, which is a local IP address, is the IP address of my desktop computer, the local one. I just found that by searching within this house. Now, if that was an external IP address, the idea is that I can do this anywhere in the world, which I obviously haven't tested. So the radio list, same again. You have to set it up. You can run a setup wizard, and you can see the settings here. It's very important that you have the virtual COM port number show up, and let's see if that shows up in my device manager. I haven't really looked. So we'll double click there. No, it's not really showing up here, but I can tell you now it's definitely working. So maybe it'll show up on the other computer. So right now I can sit on my laptop anywhere in the house, which is quite convenient for me, because sometimes I don't want to sit in the shack there. It's just, it's not comfortable. I can just get this laptop now, sit anywhere I like in the house, and control my ICOM 7300. Let's go down and see if we can find some actual activity. Right, there's the scope there. So I'm going to go over, and you can see that the conditions look a bit rubbish. So let's get if you hold the mouse down, it does that, and you can select the middle section of the frequency to bigger steps, get us into a usable part of the band. So there's the scope. So it looks really bad activity today. We're on a G5RV. So let's try 80 meters, just out of interest. Yeah, it looks very bad, doesn't it? So anyway, and we've got the RF gain here. We could turn that up. Maybe that'll bring in more. We've got the preamp. It's not going to happen, is it? So 20 meters maybe. The scope colors are all actually adjustable here. And then to add memories, you just click here, and you can import any memories you want, or you can import your code plug. The scope does go a lot bigger. It goes a lot taller, should I say. Try and get it wider. Like so. And it gives you full control. Everything on the radio you can control from this. So I'm happy because I'm sat here running my 7300 from my kitchen table. So I hope you find this interesting. I'll try and add the video I'll find the video that I did where you run these server wizards from scratch. 7.3, all the best.